Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are going to be watching this video from. This is Okoyemi Stephen, your friend in the School of Learning and Development. Hey, this is my first video for the year 2025. I hope you do have a fantastic 2024 and I hope you are now enjoying your year 2025. Yeah, and I believe all of us, we have the goals we want to achieve for this year. Yeah, and I hope everyone achieved their goals this year. Okay, so quickly today I will be talking about the Microsoft 365 role management. The Microsoft 365 role management. So today I'm just going to be showing you on how you can assign roles to your user to give them some certain permission within your tenant. Okay, and so like as we all know that the Microsoft role is a system of assigning specific administrative permission to users within an organization, allowing them to perform certain tasks based on their assigned roles. So based on their assigned, we have an example of the roles we have. Microsoft 5, we have the global administrator, we have the exchange administrator, we have the SharePoint administrator, we have the Teams administrator, and we have the security. So there are various roles in the Microsoft 365 we can assign to our user. So if I click on this user, I can see it said about the admin role. It said Microsoft 365 or Office 365 subscription comes with a set of admin roles that can that you can assign to users in your organization using the Microsoft 365 admin center. It's like each admin role maps to common business functions and gives people in your organization permission to do specific tasks in the admin center. So the role you assign to user is for them to perform some certain tasks. It gives them some certain what kind of permission. So now, if you this is my admin center, which is the admin dot Microsoft dot com. So when you come to the admin center here, so this is my M365 environment, okay? And if you come up here now, this is my active users, okay? These are my active user. So I'm just going to show you different method you can assign this role to these users, okay? And see how the roles work for them, how you can assign the roles to them. So now, if you come up here now, you can see like this is the various users I have. Okay, the various users I have. Now let me just look for one user. Okay, I'm going to use this user here, which is Ade Moses. So I'll click on this user. Now when I click on this user, and if you come up this way, you have your role. You can see here this particular user does not have any role assigned to them, so it's just an ordinary user that has a license. Okay, that has a license but no role is being assigned. So you don't just assign role to users, you assign role based on the tasks you want them to perform. As we all know, the global administrator role is the one that has the full control over the entire Microsoft 365 environment. Okay, now so those roles you don't just assign it to any user. Normally in an organization you just have maybe like five administrators. Then you don't just give anybody the global administrator role. Okay, so now if you come up here now, I want to assign role to this particular user. I can click on this one here, click on manage role. When you click on your manage role here, and you now come up here and click on admin center. Now, the beauty part of assigning this role using this method is it will group it by category. So if you click on this show all category, you can see here now you have exchange administrator, global administrator, global read administrator, help desk administrator, service desk administrator. If you come up here, you have now this one collaboration. You have the AI administrator, you have the authentication policy administrator, then you have dynamic 365 administrator, we have the exchange administrator. If you go down again now, so you can see another category, device, okay, where if you want this user to manage some kind of device, maybe your printer, and also the devices of the user. So if you go back here, you can see you have the global administrator. Then you have the identity. You can see it now. So these are being grouped by what? By categories. Okay. Now, if I want to assign a role to this particular user, let's assume I want this user to just to manage password. I want him to be able to reset password for users. I want him to just have that ability to reset users password in my organization. So I can come up here and then look for that particular role and then assign the role to that user. So let's go down and see if I can find that role. I think I saw it now. So just go down, scroll down. You can scroll up or scroll down. So I will now look for my password administrator role, and I will give to this particular user that will allow him to manage password for my user. So here is it. I'll click on that password administrator. Now click on this one. Now you can see what it's saying. I said reset password for all non-admin users and some admin roles. Okay, so if I click on that, click on it and click on save changes, then once I close it, sorry, click on back. So you can see that this particular role has been assigned to this user. Okay. Now another way I can also assign this role to my users is by coming to here under still under my admin uh microsoft.com. Okay, so I can come up here and click on roles. Let me just close this. Come up here, click on my roles here and click on roles assignment. Click on roles assignment. So here you can see it's going to display all the different roles I have here. Okay, all the different roles is going to be displayed here. So let's assume, let me give it another role. Let me say I will come up here. Let's say that same user, I want to assign role to that user. I can come up here and let me just look for, let me give him, let's say, okay, help desk administrator. I'll click on that role. Now, when you click on the role, then you can come up here and click on assign. There you can see you have uh, add users and you have add groups. Okay, I'm still going to come back to this one briefly. So add user. So you click on that. When you click on your add user, come up here, locate for that user. Ade Moses is the user. I'll click on it. So you can come up here and type to search for the user you want to assign that role to, and click on add. Okay, when you click on add, that role will be assigned to this user automatically. Okay, now if I go back to my, let me just make a duplicate of this page. Duplicate. Now if I go back to my users, active users, now I will now locate that particular user Moses. Once I do that, come to my account, and here you can see the roles now. So you can see the roles this particular user has now. He has the help desk administrator role and he has the password administrator role. Okay, so you can see that this role has been assigned to this user. We use two different methods to assign what role to your user so that they can manage what some certain tasks within our organization. Okay, within our organization. Now you can see when I came to this place where you have the role assignment, I told you, I said I will come back to this one here. If you come up here, you see here we have add users, we have add groups. Now these add groups assign a role. So this add group here assign a role to a group. Okay, to a group. Now which means that this particular user here, Moses, let's assume now I have my I have my IT guy. Okay, so I have the IT engineer guys, and I want to now assign a particular role. Let's say I have maybe like 10 IT guys in my organization, and I want to assign a role to them. So instead of me assigning that role individually, coming here and doing that, all I just need to do is come here and then come up here, select group. I'll put all the IT guys in a particular group, okay, and then assign. But that particular group is not just creating of the group. That group has to be a role group, which means that is a group that that role can be assigned to. Okay, so what do I mean? I actually have a video on that in my channel, but quickly I'll just show you something briefly to see how this works. Okay, so if I come up here now on my admin center, if I come up here, this admin center, I will come up here and then I will click on my identity. To go and create my group, click on my identity, then come up here, groups, all groups, and then here I'll click on new group, and here I'll just create a group. Let's say my M365 group. Come up here and then give it a name, IT engineers. Okay, so I'll give it a group, give it a name, and then come up here. Now, here you have Microsoft Entra role can be assigned to groups. Okay, so here you can see you have yes or no. So you have to enable this to be what? Yes. So can you see that now? Once I click on that yes, automatically it means that I can assign that particular role to this group, and anybody in this particular group automatically would get that role. Okay, now here I will assign an owner. Let me just assign the owner. Let me give it to myself. Assign the owner. Then here members. Okay, so let's say let me add some members as part of the group. Let me add Bob as a member, and let me add uh this person, Femo Johnson, as a member. I'll say select those two members. Now here you now have role, but here I'll just ignore this one. I'll say create the group, and here it will ask, say creating a group to which Microsoft Entra rules can be assigned is a setting that cannot be changed. Blah blah blah. Yes, click on yes. Okay. So now that group has been created. Now I will now go back to my M365 here. Under this place here, I now want to assign that role to the group of people. Okay, so let me look for the role I want to assign to them. Let's assume I want to give them this particular role. Let me say let me just use exchange administrator. Okay, so I'll click close this. So I'll click on this here. Now, when you now click on that, here you can now come up here now and click on add groups. Add groups. So here I will now search for those who are IT engineers. You can see now. So search for the name of that group. You can see. But if it's just an ordinary group that is not a role assigned group, you cannot assign role to that particular group. So you have to ensure that is a role assigned group that is created. So I'll click on that. I will now click on add. So once I click on add, so this particular role, exchange administrator, will be assigned to what? To every member of the IT engineers in that particular group. So if I go back there, come up here, I'll look. One of the user that is there is Femi Johnson. Let me search for Femi Johnson. Okay. Enter, click on that. So if I come up here and then click on my role, can you see that now? Role. You can see now Femi Johnson now has this particular exchange administrator what role. But remember that the role was not assigned to him by me coming here and clicking on it. You can see here. You can see by the time you come up here, it's going to show you that this person inherits this particular role from a group called IT engineers. Okay, so that is where this particular person would get this role. So it means that even if I want to remove the role from that particular user. If I want to get the role of it, I can't do that from here. I can't come up here and tick the role. I have to go back to the group and then remove uh, the user from there. Okay, then automatically the user will not have access to that particular role. Okay, so if I come up here, if I go back to my groups or my M265, come up here, IT engineers, see, so these are my members. Can you see it now? Members, Bob and Femi Johnson. Those are the two members in that particular group. If I come up here, if I want to remove that role from that side, come up here, I'll click on this user here. I'll say remove as member. I'll say okay, remove. Now, once I remove as member, it's done. I can refresh, close it, and then go back here, go back and go back to my users, active users, come up here. Now I'm going to look for that user, Femo Johnson. Look for that user. So when I click on that, go to my account, you can see now, automatically it does not have access to that role anymore. Okay, so this is how you can actually what assign your role to your users. Okay, so you can see I showed you here. You can come up, if it's just a single user, you can just come up here and add that particular user and give that user the role you want to assign to that user. So I hope you have learned something today, what is understand by your role management. Okay, so this is how you can assign roles to your user in your organization. And remember that you have to be very careful when you're assigning a role to user. Make sure you only give them the role they need permission to, what you want them to have access to. Okay, so give them the role, what you want them to manage. Okay, so you don't give them over uh, you don't give them role that they don't actually need access to. So I hope you have enjoyed this my first video of the year 2025. You know, I love you, my followers. Thank you for 2024. We can do better this year. Make sure you follow my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. And if you are a new subscriber, thank you for hitting that subscription bell. Thank you for turning on that notification. And if you are watching this video and you have not subscribed, I will encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. Okay, make sure you turn on the notification, and I promise you this year we will both learn together. Okay, so I remain your friend Okoyemi Stephen in the School of Learning and Development. I will see you some other time. Bye bye for now. Thank you.